Coming to paperback and e-readers, Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer. Take a trip into the macabre world of goth modeling in the new millennium in this all-new Spinsterella story. Pre-order your copy of Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer at Amazon.com and other online booksellers everywhere. Coming to paperback and e-readers, Esteemed Season of the Witch Girl. The aspiring angel takes on a wicked teenage witch in this action-packed all-new Esteemed series adventure. Pre-order your copy of Esteemed Season of the Witch Girl at Amazon.com and other online booksellers. Former NFL player and current Club Shay Shay podcaster Shannon Sharpe is being accused of abusing a woman in a civil lawsuit. Now, according to reports, this woman, who wanted to remain anonymous, had a civil lawsuit filed by lawyer Tony Buzbee for $50 million. However, as the case has been filed, her name has been revealed, and according to some reports, they say that she was an OnlyFans model named Gabrielle Gabby Zuninga, who allegedly met Shannon Sharpe at a gym he was working out in, and as she met this 50-year-old man when she was 19 years old, she then looked to pursue a relationship with Shannon Sharpe. And as she was looking to pursue this relationship with Shannon Sharpe, she alleges that the relationship eventually became very violent and very abusive. And over the course of that relationship, she alleges that she was not only physically abused, but was also having to deal with being sexually abused, and also accuses Shannon Sharpe of allegedly raping her, and says that because of all of these violence against her, she wants to file the civil lawsuit to get $50 million in compensation for all of the violence she endured over the course of the 2 years she was in a relationship with Shannon Sharpe. Now, this whole case in and of itself really sounds quite disturbing, and I don't know what's more disturbing: the allegations made against Shannon Sharpe, the lack of critical thinking done by Shannon Sharpe, or the fact that this woman is out here going out and making a civil lawsuit instead of filing a criminal lawsuit against Shannon Sharpe if these allegations are true. Now, when it comes to Shannon Sharpe, you would think that this over 50-year-old man would have been a bit more alert as related to the way he moved out here. Now, Shannon Sharpe is a guy who had great success when he left the Fox Sports show Undisputed, where he was having disputes with a racist in Skip Bayless, as I believe, and after he left and went out on his own, he went on to have great success with Club Shay Shay, his own podcast, and is now just about to go out here, now that his contract has expired, about to sign a deal for over possibly $100 million to renew his very popular Club Shay Shay contract with possibly another podcaster. And you would think he would have used a little bit more discernment about how he moved out here after having all this success and having a good understanding of all the racism and white supremacy that goes on in the world of sports and the world of entertainment. You would think that Shannon Sharpe would be a bit more alert, but sadly it looks like to me that Shannon Sharpe really needed to go out here and pick up some of my men's issues books, like Stop Simpin', Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance, Stop Simpin' in the Workplace, and The Man Crisis, because it's looking to me like Shannon Sharpe is a man in crisis, and a man in crisis because sadly he just did not know how to move in these spaces as a heterosexual black man, and didn't really learn a lesson from the experience he had with Skip Bayless. That's what's really sad to me about the whole situation with Shannon Sharpe, is that he really did not learn a single thing from that whole situation with Skip Bayless, and basically went out here and moved himself into a situation with this white female that basically put him right in the crosshairs as related to being targeted again by white supremacy. I mean, this guy just wasn't really smart about the way he was moving out here in these streets. I mean, when it comes to a heterosexual black man who basically has walked away from a white institution, he has a bigger target on his back, and Shannon Sharpe basically widened the shot on that on him by going out here and not moving in the right way. No, what happened here with Shannon Sharpe is what happens when you just don't go out here and have your head on tight as related to how it is out here in these streets. No, you would think that in this era of Me Too, where a woman can simply again make an allegation against a man and it could basically lead to him losing his reputation and his career, you would think Shannon Sharpe would already know, again, being a man in his 50s, seeing what happened to over 80-year-old Bill Cosby, that he would understand, look, I need to watch how I move out here. But no, what happened to Shannon Sharpe is he just moved like an old simp in these streets. And as he moved in these streets like an old simp, basically what happened to Shannon Sharpe is he ran into this 19-year-old white female, and she basically saw who he was, and after she saw who he was, she got caught up in her hypergamy, and as she got caught up in her hypergamy, she not only wanted to get with this high status man who had all this money and influence, but wanted to also go out here and not look to have a relationship with him, but look to go out here and secure a payday for herself. That's what she was looking for, because if, according to some reports, she was involved with OnlyFans, that should have been an indicator to Shannon that, look, this ain't the female you need to be dealing with in these streets, because if she's on these different sites, again, showing off her body for some cash from some simps in the street, then she's basically, again, looking to prey on you to get a payday at your expense. Unfortunately, what Shannon Sharpe was caught up in was his lust, thinking about looking to get her to drop the skid mark Victoria's Secret thong, and hoping to go out here and put the big carbon rod inside of Becky's atomic waste reactor. And all he was doing was being mesmerized and spellbound by the idea of, one, a white woman paying him some attention, two, a young white woman checking for an older man like him, and three, him getting some draws from a younger white female. And as he got caught up in all of that, what this woman was doing was playing a strategic game of chess, where she was thinking, oh, I'll get involved with this guy to be able to elevate my low social status at the expense of this dude's low self-esteem, because that's what really got Shannon Sharpe in this mess, was even though he had all of this tremendous success, I mean, he basically went out here and beat the white supremacists at their own game. They were looking to go out here and emasculate him with that guy, his name, I forget what his name is now, but I just said it before. His name, Skip Bayless, wanted to humiliate him with Skip Bayless, and instead of him having the confidence to again be that man, he fell into his insecurities, looking for white acceptance. And as he looked for this white acceptance from this white teenager, basically again looking to get with this girl, he basically again did get with her, and according to her allegations, she says that she was being abused in this relationship. Now, I don't know if that's the case at all, but again, when you're a man out here, you've got to watch how you move out here. Again, this guy, after walking away from Fox Sports, should have been understanding that there was going to be a bigger target on his back by white supremacy, and they were waiting for the opportunity to go out here and go after him. And sadly, what happened with Shannon Sharpe is this simp basically got caught up with this female, and this female basically is being weaponized by an opportunist in Tony Buzbee. Now, Tony Buzbee is an opportunist who basically looks to go out here and fatten his pockets at the expense of black men. He has been looking to go out here and fatten his pockets at the expense of heterosexual black men, looking to go out here and create all sorts of scandals as related to different black men, whether it be former quarterback, I believe, of the Houston Texans, who he went after, and then going after Diddy and Jay-Z, this guy basically is looking to make a business of looking to just go out here and make money at the expense of very prominent black men, looking to go out here and push the same brute narrative that the Me Too movement went out here and created regarding black men before they got caught up in their hypergamy when the woman at Fox News went out here and got that payday from Roger Ailes. Once she got that payday from Roger Ailes, that's when they decided to turn to white men. And sadly, many of these black men who are rich and prominent don't really understand the big picture regarding the subtle politics transpiring around them. And since they don't understand the subtle politics transpiring around them, they basically wind up getting caught up in these scandals because, most importantly, they don't watch how they move. And again, when you're a heterosexual black man, you really have to watch how you move in these streets. You have to watch how you move in these streets because when you are out here, you have a target on your back, and there are a lot of predators out here looking to prey on you as related to going out here and getting a payday at your expense. There are a lot of predators out here looking to get a payday, and that's why you gotta watch how you move out here. And sadly, Shannon Sharpe wasn't watching how he moved, but this woman was watching how he was moving and thinking about, hey, I'm gonna get a payday. But that may be her undermining. It may be her undermining because this woman is basically, she's looking at Shannon Sharpe and looking to hopefully get a $50 million judgment against him, but may wind up with nothing at all. Because when I look at this whole case, what really makes it suspect to me is that if Shannon Sharpe had committed an alleged sex crime against this woman during a relationship, I would think that she would want to go out here and file not a civil lawsuit, but go out and file a criminal charge. And that's what makes it suspect to me that Tony Buzbee is running with this woman over to the civil courts looking for a payday, but not looking for a criminal charge. Because if Shannon Sharpe is allegedly a sexual deviant and a sexual predator like she claims, who is abusing women and participating in criminal sexual behavior, you would think you would want to get this man off the streets and keep him from preying on another woman. That's the first thing any woman you would think would want to do. However, this woman basically is with her attorney going out here and looking to get that payday, first. And that's what makes this whole case suspect to me. Makes it suspect to me because you've got a female going not to the criminal court, because again, if a man is a clear and present danger, you think you would be going after him to get him in jail because you would want to keep other women from being attacked by him. But this woman is looking to get $50 million, and her basically looking to get money really is a red flag for me. Now, Shannon Sharpe has allegedly offered her $10 million to remain silent, and that shows me that there's something wrong with this dude. I mean, why are you offering this woman $10 million as related to an allegation that needs to be proven in criminal court? I mean, why are you looking to get a settlement? No, you would do what Jay-Z did. Now, when one of these white females wanted to go out here and try to play the Jane Doe game on Jay-Z, Jay-Z basically was smart enough to say, no, I'm not going to pay you a single dime. No, in fact, what I'm going to do is take this case to the courts and take it to the courts, because even though in civil court it's based on a preponderance of evidence, there is no real evidence, because what happens is the father of that girl already said, this girl was never there, and there was no records of anything there, because even at all of these after parties, there's a list to get in, and there'd be records of everything. So this girl, Jay-Z, basically destroyed her in court, got her case dismissed, and now he's filing a civil suit as related to defamation, as related to this case. And again, one of the only smart moves that Jay-Z made, and again, Greasy basically understood his rights as an American citizen, understood his rights under the Constitution, and again, understood that it's up to the plaintiff to prove their case as related to things, it's up to the plaintiff to prove their case. And if they can't prove their case and want to play this game, they will lose. And again, you would think with all of his resources, Shannon Sharpe would have been going out here and again making that case. And even though this woman is, again, making accusations with text messages and other forms of evidence, you would think he would be saying, no, I'm going to fight this case in as related to civil court, because what she's looking to do is what many women are looking to do as the Me Too movement has been revealed for the hustle it actually is. What we've got today are a lot of women going out here and looking to play this game of making an accusation in civil court, saying that they are a Jane Doe and that somebody, again, allegedly assaulted them, and then hoping that this person would scramble and panic to the point where what they would do is go and offer in settlement that would allow these women to be able to live on Easy Street on the money that is offered to them, and then hope to go out here and scam one man after another for a payday. That's what these women are hoping to do as related to this whole situation of, again, pulling this whole game. And again, the only way to stop this type of stuff, the same way they did with the Me Too movement, is to take these women to court. And then after you take the women to court and disprove their case, because in the case of Jay-Z, the woman didn't want to reveal her name. Again, they want to use the Jane Doe thing to get an easy payday. But the whole thing is that Shannon Sharpe, again, didn't do this. He continued to go on with this whole case as related to things. And again, look to, again, go out here and possibly incriminate himself in civil court based on the preponderance of the evidence by going out here and allegedly making that offer, when if you are a man, you don't make any offers. No man makes any offers. However, again, Shannon Sharpe's big mistake was going out here and not watching how he moved in this whole system of white supremacy that goes on here in America. Because when you're a black man, you have to understand you have a target on your back basically every day. And when you're a successful and prominent black man, there's a huge target on your back. So you got to watch how you move in these streets and not get caught up and spellbound because some young 20-something thing is out here paying you a little bit of attention. Because a lot of times if a young 20-something thing is paying you attention, it's a red flag as related to her behavior. In my eyes, it's basically a red flag as related to her behavior, because what happens when you have a female who's in her 20s checking for an older dude? She's basically, again, looking for an old simp to go out here and get his money, whether it be going out here and dating this dude, and again, dating a dude, or going out here and getting a payday by going out here and accusing him of something. Again, a man gotta watch how he move in these streets. A man gotta watch how he move, especially in this era of Me Too. Again, you would think, after seeing what happened to Bill Cosby, again, where the internal interpretation of law was changed to make it where, it can be a simple allegation of something to basically mess up your reputation, mess up your career. I mean, Club Shay Shay has gone on to become a major asset as related to podcasting, and Shannon Sharpe was on his way to making that $100 million payday a year, but because he got caught up with this female, he could possibly wind up losing everything. And that's why I say, dudes, you gotta watch how you move out here. This is why I write books like Stop Simping, because I want guys out here to understand you gotta watch how you move in these streets. You gotta watch how you move in these streets, and you gotta learn how to identify female predators, because they oftentimes look young and real pretty. You gotta watch how they operate around you, because a lot of these chicks want to go out here and again put a target on your back. They know who you are. They know what you about. They know who they're dealing with. Again, these females know who you are, but they're looking to go out here and see you as a mark they can go out here and take advantage of. And you gotta understand that she's paying attention to you for a reason, and the reason is she wants to get paid, and she wants to get that payday at your expense. And you gotta watch how you move out here, because if you are in a situation of he said, she said, it's gonna be her word against yours, and that's why you gotta watch how you deal with these females in the streets when you're out here. And again, Shannon Sharpe made that tactical error of not watching how he moved, not watching who he was dealing with, not maintaining any sort of distance, because he was out here running wild in these streets. And again, led this woman to go out here and create a case against him, a case that she used this black man chaser, Tony Buzbee, because Tony Buzbee basically be chasing black men because he can't make money as an attorney. He ain't got no skills to make money as an attorney. So, as I believe, he goes out here and chases black men, hoping to get a payday out of them, because if she gets any sort of settlement, he's getting a cut of that money. But the whole thing is, Shannon Sharpe could have cut all these people out of his whole situation by understanding how the game is out here. Had he understood how the game is out here in these streets as related to the Me Too movement, he basically would have understood, I need to keep my distance from these females. Again, they may look fly, but the whole thing is, it is a fly trap, and you don't want to wind up in a fly trap getting yourself jammed up as related to things. I mean, Shannon Sharpe calls this a shakedown, and I possibly do believe it's a shakedown, because if this man had committed this sex crime as related to things, you would think you should be filing a police report. I mean, you not filing a police report is a red flag for me. I mean, why did you go to civil court instead of criminal court? Critical question I would like to ask Tony Buzbee and the accuser. I mean, if this man is a predator, like you say, and participated in, again, abusing this woman, you would think you would want to get this man off the street. Again, I repeat that because, again, when you're dealing with a predator, you want to get that person off the street to keep them from preying on people. But in this case, this woman, again, is out here going to this guy Tony Buzbee, chasing this black man chaser, and looking to push the brute narrative, looking to push the black brute narrative as related to him. And that's where I look at her case and find it quite suspect, and look at this whole case as yet another plan to go after another black man as related to, again, taking away his wealth. Because what white supremacy doesn't want is to have a black man go out here and have wealth as related to things. That was one of the reasons why they wanted to go after Bill Cosby, because Bill Cosby continued to have tremendous wealth, and they don't want Shannon Sharpe to have that kind of wealth like Bill Cosby has. No, they don't want any of these black men to have that type of money, regardless of their politics, because, again, in the system of white supremacy, they always look to break a black man, whether he be a brother about empowerment or a tool, because they don't want those black men to be able to have the money to weaponize themselves or empower other black people. No, they don't really care who it is. They want to see them all broken. And again, we've got to start putting ourselves in a path where we can wind up in these situations. That's why I say Shannon Sharpe should have been watching how he moved. Because, yeah, you stood up against Skip Bayless. Yeah, you walked away from Fox Sports, started your own thing. And that was something that was too positive for white supremacy. And when they see a black man out here like that, they look to go out here and break a black man like that by putting one of these white females in his path. Because they know that when it comes down to many of these black males, they turn into simps when it comes down to white women. No, when it comes down to some of these black men, they become simps, and again, this becomes their Achilles heel, and that Achilles heel can possibly lead to them taking a fall that could keep them from being able to enjoy the success that they're having in their careers, because Shannon Sharpe basically was on his way to making $100 million a year on his Club Shay Shay podcast. And this woman, she didn't just want to get a cut, she wanted to cut down his reputation. And that's what Tony Buzbee wanted to do. He wants to cut down black men so that he can go out here and make money at our expense, because I don't see him going after any white men. You never see Tony Buzbee file a single civil lawsuit against any of these white men, because he knows that there will be consequences for that. He knows that those white men would come out and take him down and destroy his reputation by cutting him out of any business as related to their networks. But he'll go after black men because a lot of us don't come together. A lot of us don't come together and form a wall that say, no, you ain't coming over here. I mean, this guy came after 3 black men before. He came after the Houston Texans quarterback with a failed case, came after P. Diddy with a failed case, came after Jay-Z with a failed case, and the whole thing is that we have to start fighting back against these allegations, and hold these women accountable if these allegations are not true. If these allegations are not true, we have to start pushing back. Moreover, we have to start suing these women for defamation when they make these allegations, to hold them accountable and hold a line as related to things, because in the aftermath of the Me Too era, we have to start going out here and pushing back and letting people know you're not going to go out here and use anti-black racism to go out here and make allegations that say that as a black man they're a brute. No, you can't go out here and make these allegations. They're not going to be tolerated. And if you want to get a payday, you can go back to wherever you came from, but you're not going to get that here. That's the boundary we have to establish as black men to protect our personal reputation and our freedom. We have to protect those things, and we have to make a stand against these people who want to make these type of claims, because they want to get an easy payday at a black man's expense. And the whole thing is, we have to let them know that if you want to go out here and look to come after us, you're going to be made accountable for your actions, and made accountable for your actions if you go out here and make these allegations. Because if you're going to go out here and make these allegations, you need to have some evidence behind it. Have some evidence behind it to substantiate that case, because going after somebody's reputation, again, this is something we need to push back on as a country, because this type of thing only goes on as long as black men continue to give these women a pass and not understand that in the system of white supremacy, you have to watch how you move, because everywhere you go, as a black man, you have to understand it don't matter how much money you got, there's always a target on your back. And the whole thing is, you got to keep people from being able to line that target up to take a shot at you. Now, if you want to avoid winding up possibly in a situation like Shannon Sharpe, you can pick up my books, Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance, on Amazon.com in paperback, Kindle format, and audiobook. And you can also pick up my book, The Man Crisis, to also further learn how you can avoid being in this type of situation. And you can also, if you're on the job, you can pick up Stop Simping in the Workplace on Amazon.com as well. And you can also find that book at other online booksellers like Draft the Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And if you want to see me take more celebrities and athletes to the barbecue, you can drop a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, A Thorn in My Side. The man who rules the world takes on an agent from the CIA from the Black Boule in this all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get your copy of John Haynes' A Thorn in My Side in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Isis, Amari's Revenge. The goddess next door is confronted by a Nubian queen out for revenge at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in this inaugural Isis series adventure. Get your copy of Isis, Amari's Revenge in paperback and e-readers at Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Esteem, Horror in the Hamptons. The aspiring angel tries to escape a house of horrors in this action-packed, all-new Esteem series adventure. Get your copy of Esteem, Horror in the Hamptons in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.